The fans want to see blood, sweat, and tears. He's always in tremendous fights, and he's a very exciting knockout artist. And that's what boxing is about. It's about giving the people and the fans what they want to see.
Just coming up in weight. He came up in weight doing that. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see. He's nothing in his past.
Saying have a fight, yes, but have it at 140. Fighting anyone at 140 would be more exciting than this fight against Lamont Roach.
Floyd Mayweather analyzed Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach, emphasizing Tank's power, speed, and experience. He believes Roach is skilled, but lacks the strength to handle Davis's relentless pressure and knockout ability.
But I must say this, the most exciting fighter that's acting and fighting in boxing right now is Gervonta "Tank" Davis. When Gervonta "Tank" Davis go out there and fight, he reminds me of Pretty Boy Floyd. Because Pretty Boy Floyd, you couldn't go get no popcorn. You couldn't go get no soda. You couldn't go get no candy. You don't want to miss nothing.
Renowned boxing analyst Al Bernstein has expressed skepticism regarding Lamont Roach's ability to defeat Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Bernstein points out that Roach's past performances lack evidence of the power necessary to overcome a formidable opponent like Davis, who boasts an impressive record and multiple championships. This perspective has led many to question the competitiveness of the upcoming bout.
Too about the big one coming up in a month. Another guy you called several of his fights, Gervonta Davis, fighting Lamont Roach, is a significant favorite. Do you think Roach is being undervalued as an underdog, or it will probably go the way people think it will go?
Roach is coming up in weight. He came up in weight doing that. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see. He's nothing in his past tells me he's going to beat Gervonta Davis or even be competitive with him. And I'm not. It's not a denigration of Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter. He won a title at a lower weight, and that was a surprise to some people that he did get, even though he was a good prospect. So it's just hard to imagine him beating Davis.
The other Davis is fighting for a world title 2 weeks before in New York against Baranchik.
Oh yeah, Keyshawn Davis. That's a fascinating fight.
The upcoming fight between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach has drawn mixed reactions, with some labeling it a cherry pick due to Roach moving up to 130 pounds. Former pro boxer Dawood Bey analyzes the matchup, emphasizing the deep boxing history of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. He believes Roach's camp is strong and expects a competitive fight rather than an easy win for Davis. Bey highlights Davis's position in the sport, noting that criticism is inevitable unless he faces top names like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. He predicts an exciting DMV showdown with high-energy action.
Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach. A lot of people shitting on the fight. A lot of people saying it's a cherry pick. A lot of people saying that, or criticizing Tank for bringing Lamont up to 130. What's your thoughts on the fight?
I think if you understand the history of D.C. and Baltimore, and then I'm familiar with Roach and them camp a little bit because I'm cool with people that's tight with them and stuff like that. So we all kind of encounter each other. I don't live nothing but 2.5 hours away, right? I wouldn't see none of them coming and laying down, and then Tank is Tank. I think you're going to get a DMV classic. Like, you're going to get a good fight. They're going to fight each other. Lamont going to fight Tank. You know what I'm saying? So for however long it lasts, or for however long the fireworks is, you know what I mean, going off, he going to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to come out there to lay down. So, I don't know. I mean, people going to criticize you no matter what, though, once you get in, like, tank position. It don't really matter what you do. Like, if you wasn't fighting, like, Shakur or Devin right now in this next fight, it's probably, like, 3 people he could be fighting, and nobody wouldn't have nothing to say. You understand what I'm trying to say? Not to say that some fights can't be, like, better than others or whatever, but, yeah, if he wasn't fighting Devin, Shakur, or, like, Tiafimo, then somebody gonna say, like, it's a cherry pick or everything. I mean, everybody's a cherry pick. Leave it up to them.
The boxing community has voiced concerns about Davis's selection of Lamont Roach as his next opponent. Critics argue that Davis is avoiding more challenging fights against top-tier contenders like Shakur Stevenson. The decision to face Roach, who is perceived as a less formidable adversary, has led to accusations of cherry-picking and has sparked debates about Davis's willingness to test himself against the best in the division.
Biggest puncher, I feel, at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
And what is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he want.
Despite being a world champion, Lamont Roach remains relatively unknown to the broader public. This lack of recognition contributes to the perception that Davis has chosen an easy fight. However, Roach's supporters argue that his underdog status could work to his advantage, as opponents may underestimate his capabilities in the ring. Shields acknowledges Roach's potential, but emphasizes Davis's proven track record and formidable skills.
Garcia beat him, so Lamont Roach is a good fighter, but and I'm happy to see a fighter like Lamont Roach, who's had to come up the blue-collar way, get a big opportunity, get a big payday. But now that I've said that, it's an underwhelming fight, and everybody's saying that because it's true. And this is a fight that would have made more sense for Gervonta Davis a couple years ago, back when Gary Russell was rumored as an opponent. And this would be, like a good DMV rivalry, two guys from the DMV area. But in 2024, when Tank's already headlined a lot of pay-per-views, it's underwhelming. And, before the Gervonta Davis fans try to come at my throat, I get it. Lomachenko walked away from the table. Of course, that's after, some years earlier of Tank saying he wasn't interested in that fight. Fight was never officially negotiated by Top Rank or PBC, but for years, Gervonta had no real intention of fighting Lomachenko, and now Lomachenko has walked away from the table now that the fight's available. I understand that. I understand Shakur Stevenson really is opting more the Williams-Zepeda route. I understand that Teofimo Lopez has only really called Davis out once the Lamont Roach fight was really being talked about around Canelo Berlanga fight week and was close to probably being finalized.
De La Hoya concurs, referring to Tank as a beast and suggesting that while Roach is a competent fighter, facing Davis will be a significant challenge, potentially leading to a tough night for Roach.
No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out. Watching him fight up close and personal, he's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations, sometimes at will, without you even knowing it. He's that sneaky. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But, obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience. He has the knowledge. He has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any punch.
Gervonta Davis has recently announced plans to retire at the end of 2025, citing personal reasons and a desire to focus on his family and mental health. This decision has influenced his choice of opponents, leading him to select Lamont Roach for his upcoming fight.
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being ducked leading up to this. Shakur Stevenson ducked him. Lomachenko ducked him openly. El Rayo didn't want to fight this year. He wanted to fight next year. Another thing is, I was hearing that Tank wanted it at 135 and rehydration, all kind of shit. So, but I don't know how true that is, which it wouldn't shock me if that was true. Either way, for whatever reason, El Rayo fell apart. The options were just getting diabolical. All right, I understand that. At the same time, Lamont Roach versus Tank is trash. If Devin Haney announced he was fighting Lamont Roach coming up from 130 next,
at 135, I'll say that shit's trash. Let me tell you this. To me, Gervonta is far better than Devin Haney. So it's trash, bruh. It's trash.
Some speculate that Davis aims to secure manageable victories before his retirement, while others believe he is providing opportunities for lesser-known fighters to gain exposure and financial benefits. Devin Haney says he doesn't believe that Tank is going to retire this soon.
Reaction to Tank retiring?
He's retiring?
That's what he said.
Nah, he's not retiring. It's a lot of big fights to be made out there, and Tank knows that. I don't think he's gonna retire, with a lot of unfinished business.
What do you make of the Tank versus Roach fight? Do you think it's a fight that Tank should have at this point of his career?
No comment.
What do you make of a Tank?
Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach. We've been cool since we was in the amateurs. So I'm happy that he got the opportunity, and that's all I can say.
And what about Tank Shakur? If that fight happens in the future, who do you see winning?
It's a good fight for boxing. I think that we should all be fighting each other. That's what boxing is about. The best fighting the best.
People are criticizing Lamont Roach simply because they don't know him or his accomplishments. Unlike Gervonta Tank Davis, who is a household name with massive exposure, Roach hasn't received the same spotlight. Fans believe in Tank because they've seen his knockouts, his dominance, and his championship wins, while Roach remains underrated. However, just because people haven't seen Roach in action doesn't mean he isn't a threat. He's a world champion for a reason, and this fight is his chance to prove that he belongs at the top. Critics may be sleeping on him, but Roach is ready to wake them up.
Big hair, don't care. On the way to the gym, and I'm just totally perplexed. I see a lot of people on Twitter and on the internet talking about disdain when it comes to, the Tank fight with Lamont Roach. I'm like, what's the problem? They act like Lamont Roach has not fought anybody and he isn't anybody. His only loss is against a former world champion in Jamel Herring. His last two fights with McCrory and Hector Luis Garcia, they were fire. This is a legitimate matchup. I don't know what the problem is. Everybody says that Tank needs to fight someone. Now he's fighting someone, and people have something to say. What do y'all want? What do y'all want from these guys? These are the matchups we want to see. It's going to be good. I'm not going to say who I'm picking right now because I want to see more, but respect to both guys.
Boxing commentator Showbiz. The Adult has suggested that Gervonta Davis should consider moving up to the 140-pound weight class to face more formidable opponents. He argues that such a move would lead to more exciting and competitive fights, addressing criticisms that Davis is selecting easier matchups. This perspective aligns with fans' desires to see Davis challenge himself against higher caliber competition.
Saying have a fight, yes, but have it at 140. Fighting anyone at 140 would be more exciting than this fight against Lamont Roach. Nothing against Lamont Roach, but I'm telling you, Gervonta Tank Davis fanboys, not the fans, but the fanboys, you're not going to be able to convince people that Lamont Roach is someone to get excited about versus Tank. It's not going to happen. You're going to try to call people casuals or whatever. But really, people who really knows boxing, they know that Gervonta Tank Davis is too much for Lamont Roach, all right? Now, I was saying go up to 140. Fight who, Showbiz? Fight anybody. Just have a fight at 140. And when you see in hindsight that Teofimo Lopez and Devin the American Dream Haney is now negotiating for their fight, you can understand now why I would say something like that. He has a fight at 140, then he takes on the Teofimo Lopez and Devin the American Dream Haney winner.
Interestingly, Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis have a history dating back to their amateur careers. Roach recalls facing Davis twice, first in regional competitions and later at the national level in Baltimore. These past encounters add an intriguing dimension to their upcoming professional bout, as both fighters have evolved significantly since their amateur days.
We fought twice in the same tournament. So,
that's different.
Yeah, and we fought in the Junior Olympics, in the regionals, and we fought in the nationals.
Okay. You fought in the regionals and then fought again in the nationals?
Yeah. So we fought in the regionals in Baltimore in his hometown. It was a close fight. Obviously, I thought I won. We sent there was like an incident where a point got taken from both of us, and it only should have been him, or whatever the case may be. And we sent the tape to USA Boxing, and USA Boxing sent us an at-large bid to go to the Nationals.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, and then they put us on two different sides of the bracket, and we met up in the championship.
And he took it again.
Yeah, he won a close fight, and I
Too
thought
close.
I won that one too.
30 people, knocked out what, 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. he probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. That's evidently a power puncher. I got too much. I got too much for me to go out like that. I'm not saying he don't, but I can't. Like, if anything, I'm trying to flip it around. I'm trying to make it flip the narrative. Like, I'm the one in it.
As of now, Lamont Roach is ranked 14th globally and 3rd in the United States in the super featherweight division. He currently holds the WBA title, underscoring his status as a legitimate world champion. Despite these credentials, Roach remains underappreciated by many boxing fans, a factor that could influence the dynamics of the upcoming fight.
Hey, yo, we're going to be checking for any suspicious opponents on Lamont Roach record. He's 25-1 with 10 big wins coming by the way of knockout, my people. He's in the super featherweight division. He's ranked number 14 in the world and number 3 in the USA, my people. He has a WBA title right now in the super featherweight division. He's fighting Gervonta Davis in December, but you know we got to check how he even got there and how he started his career. His pro debut, he went against Victor. He was 1-3. That's fine. It's your pro debut. First fight as a professional. You feel me? I ain't gonna get at you. Next person was 1-6. Alright, I mean, we ain't do better, but it's your second fight. Like, fourth person was 0-1. That was a little sussy because he ended up 0-10. He never won a day in his life. So he never got his hand raised in a boxing match. You feel me? And then the next person, he stepped it up though. He went to undefeated. It's only 2 fights, but he was 2-0. Then 12-9, that's a journey, man. I'm not gonna lie. 4-2, 3-4, these are looking good. 8-5. That's a journeyman in the making. He got a winning record.
In the lead up to the fight, Lamont Roach has been vocal, engaging in trash talk from the outset. Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, has chosen not to respond verbally, indicating that he prefers to let his performance in the ring speak for itself. This contrast in pre-fight demeanor has heightened anticipation, with observers eager to see how the tension translates into their in-ring performances. Some believe there's a deeper reason behind Gervonta Davis choosing to fight Lamont Roach. According to boxing legend Mike Tyson, fighters sometimes take certain matchups to help friends financially. This theory suggests Davis might be giving Roach a significant payday and exposure, rather than seeking the toughest challenge. While Roach is a skilled fighter, many argue that Davis had more competitive options, such as Shakur Stevenson. If true, this fight could be more about business than legacy. Regardless, Roach sees this as an opportunity to prove himself, while Davis aims to silence critics with a dominant performance.
And on the other side, on the flip side of everything, I see whereas though I heard Mike Tyson, make a statement saying, I think that fighters should make fights and put money in their friend's pocket. Could this be a fight where Tank is saying, hey, nobody else wants to fight me, everybody else is ducking me, nobody's available. This is a fight where I can put some money in Lamont Roach Jr.'s pocket. Could that be the case? Could he say, I just want to put some money in his pocket? I'm going to give him an opportunity, somebody from my area, somebody who has the same color skin that I have, give him an opportunity to be great and to make some money. And now, after this fight, if Lamont Roach Jr., I believe he's not going to win, I think he's going to come up short. I'm not saying he's going to get stopped, but if you look at Tank's knockout ratio, you could possibly believe that he could be stopped in this fight. Now,
regardless of the fight's outcome, Lamont Roach has clear plans for his boxing career. He intends to drop back down to the 130-pound division to challenge top fighters like Vasily Lomachenko. Roach views the opportunity to fight Davis as a stepping stone to greater recognition and more high-profile bouts in the future.
Who you looking to fight next after this fight? Like, Tank over, win, lose, draw, whatever. Who you want next?
Look, if y'all don't know, even after I beat Tank, I'm gonna go back down to 130 and handle some smoke that I got down there at 130. All the champions, I got smoke with all the champions. I wanted to unify at least one belt at 130.
Okay.
So whoever the champion is, whoever the champions are, hopefully I can just line them up and then take them out. It's good fights. The champions are Lomachenko, Shakur, and another guy from Ukraine, Denis Baranchik or something like that.
Okay. I feel like you and Shakur is a really. I think people in the comments are actually wanting that fight, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, it'd be a great fight.
Yeah, they could fight. Shakur can boogie for sure.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.